Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. So, we got a trade here, and it's two trades actually involving the San Antonio Spurs on trade deadline. Imagine that. They did some things, and guess what? They got a bunch of picks today. They are going to be big-time players in this upcoming draft. All right, let's talk about the smaller deal first, and we'll get to the other one, and I'll quickly move on because I ain't got a lot of time on this thing. Okay, so first move is Goran Dragic is going to the Spurs, and I'm sure they'll buy him out. That's already been explained. And a first round pick, 22, which is this year, of course, 1 through 14 protected. And if it doesn't fall in there, or if it does fall in there, then it'll drop down to next year, as to which it'll be a 1 through 13. So 1 through 14 this year, they don't get it then, 1 through 13 next year. And the Raptors will be receiving Thaddeus Young, Drew Eubanks, and a second round pick that's upcoming right here, right now, 22. So that's that deal. I think Thaddeus Young is a fantastic player to have for the Raptors because he's yet another big Swiss Army knife player that fits right in their roster. They have so many big players like OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and who else they got? Just a bunch of big guys. You get the point. They have a huge lineup and they add him to it. That just makes them so much better. I think he's going to be expiring at the end of the year, so they have a chance to either resign him or let him walk. But I think they're going to use him as a playoff piece. And of course, as I said, Goran Dragic is out of here. That's about getting the first round pick. Then, of course, the Spurs turned around and did a big deal. They did this. They went and got Josh Richardson, and Romeo Langford, and then a 22 protected first round pick, another one, 1 through 4. So if it falls outside of the 4 range, then they will be able to use that. It's 1 through 4. That's what is protected. So if the Celtics don't get the first 1 through 4 picks, they will be getting you to the Spurs, and that is massive. A really, really good player is going to the Spurs, and then another, they get like 2 lottery picks. That's just absolutely and utterly insane. And the Celtics will be receiving Derek White. Derek White is going to the Celtics. He has a 4-year deal of $15 million, which is one of the best deals in the whole league. I am not certain that if I'm the Spurs, I would be thrilled about giving up Derek White at that price at all. But given the fact that they are the Spurs, you know they have their eyes on a couple players at the top of this draft coming up, and them dudes are going to be Spurs. What they can also do is possibly trade those picks and get themselves an even better pick, or trade those picks and do something real big. So I love what the Spurs did here, even though I don't love giving up Derek White. I love what the Celtics did here, because the Celtics pick up a real serious player. Derek White is serious. I really, really love this player. And he's going to have his best years in Boston. No question about it. I'm also very happy for Romeo Langford, man. If you guys follow me, you know what I think of Romeo Langford. He has a above average body in terms of his metrics and stuff like that. His talent level coming out of school was supposed to be that of somebody who could develop into a star. And quite frankly, Celtics did not develop him very well at all. In fact, they did a terrible job developing that high-level prospect. He's going to be playing for Pop. Pop's going to get the most out of him. Look out for Romeo Langford to come out of nowhere overnight and turn into what it is he's supposed to turn into. I think that dude is going to be something, and the Spurs just got so much better. The Spurs got so much better with those picks. Josh Richardson is a guy on a 2-year, $11 million, 2-year, $11.6 million contract. I think he also will benefit from playing in this system with Pop. Man, I'm so happy for the Spurs in a sense that they have effectively retooled while getting a bunch of first-round picks and put themselves in a position to get some high-level players that will outplay their what they're known to be, especially Romeo Langford. Now, Josh Richardson, if you guys follow me, you know I'm not high on Josh Richardson, but Josh Richardson in that system with Popovich, maybe Popovich can get the most out of him, and his contract's not crazy, so if they don't love it, they can move it at the end of the season. But Romeo Langford going there is great. I'm so extremely happy for that kid, man. And then those picks going to San Antonio. San Antonio did exactly what I wanted them to do. Put themselves in a position to shake off what I consider is Spur fatigue. Everybody, is not getting their respect on the Spurs. When DeMar DeRozan was there, he didn't get his respect. I felt like DeJounte Murray, all-star, so happy he made it. He should have been voted initially as an all-star. And luckily he was able to get in off someone getting hurt. But I just think that a lot of people were tired of seeing the Spurs win, and now that they're kind of down a little bit, people were just very comfortable with that, not voting for their players, not putting them in position to get the type of attention that they deserved. And because they weren't really winning, it was just like we forget about the Spurs. But now they get to put themselves in a position to get some more new homegrown guys, which is something I really love for them because they have historically, of course, drafted extremely well. So you get a star level talent with that 1 through 4 protected, pick, and then you get another one within the lottery as well. And if for some reason that doesn't fall to you, you get it next year. They're going to get an infusion of legitimate talent to go along with what they already have, which is a bunch of talent, in my opinion. I think Josh Primo is going to continue to get better. They may be willing to move Lonnie Walker, but I think he could be better in that roster if they keep him. Obviously, you got Jakob Poeltl, of whom I'm a big fan of as well. The San Antonio Spurs are well on their way to turning their thing around right now. Giving up Derek White, you don't love that. But for what they got back, you do love that. That's exactly what you want to see. When you develop a player to being as good as Derek is, if you give him up, this is the type of return you want. High-level prospects that are not on crazy contracts and lottery picks that can help you get better. The price tag on that contract was fair because it is such a fantastic contract that he is most definitely going to outplay. And I just wonder why the hell he signed it, to be completely honest with you, because you're so much better than that. But nevertheless, this gives you the flexibility to go to a situation like Boston where you're immediately going to be the starting point guard there, and you get to play with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And I could argue that's a big three because I think that much of Derek White, he is that damn good. That's a big three. So, yeah, the Boston Celtics are going to be a player now. They boosted themselves tremendously because, quite frankly, they weren't getting nothing out of those two guys. They didn't develop them properly. You know what I mean? So to put that and turn that into Derek White is fantastic. Giving up those picks you don't love, but at the end of the day, it's going to cost to get a contract like Derek White's. A guy that good, he's an all-star level player. In my opinion, he's on a 4-year deal at $15 million. That's going to cost you lottery picks, because you think about the contract itself. Think about like Russell Westbrook making $47 million next year. Derek White's probably going to be a more productive player than Russell Westbrook. At this price on a long deal, you're just not going to find many contracts that good in this league, and that's why it costs so much. So, does it look like the Boston Celtics gave up too much for Derek White? On its surface, of course it looks like they gave up too much. But if you understand what that contract is, you realize it's cap space gold. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful for both teams. I love what San Antonio did today. I like what the Raptors did as well, picking up Thaddeus Young. And a guy by the name of Drew Eubanks, who I'm not familiar with, but is a prospect I'm sure they'll use. Fits in right in with what they do with Thad Young. And, of course, they get a second rounder on top of it just to make things all right. So San Antonio's getting a W today. I love what they've done. You guys, A+. I love what you do. I can't give away A+. Like I said in the last video, A+ is for the best trade ever. But this is an A, man. Y'all did great. And for the Celtics, listen, man, I give that a B. Heck, only because you had to give up so much draft equity for the great contract, and it doesn't look as pretty as it actually is. But it really is a good trade for you guys. This is going to help you guys win more games. It's going to help y'all be more players in an ever strengthening Eastern Conference. So, yeah, man, congratulations to both teams, all three teams. And I'm going to keep you guys posted, man. This has been a fantastic trade deadline, just like I told you it was going to be. This was going to be a good trade deadline because a lot of teams needed a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff was movable. Now, as far as my Lakers, we'll talk about them later. But everybody else is doing great, and I'm happy to see it. BDF44, thank y'all for watching. I'm out.